What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We need our pillows, huh? We need our bird pillow, our bird watching. We're watching the birds, bird watching. This pillow here. I like this pillow when it was over here. It was over here yesterday. It was giving like I was giving like plush. I'm not buying any more pillows. I told y'all that. I'm trying to not have a lot of have a lot of stuff around. Okay, let's see. We love pillows. Is this too far? Yeah, this is too far to the. I use the butterfly, mariposa. I use the wing to as a guide on where I am. So what's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, girl. Yeah, Big Chuck got struck in the neck at a rally in Utah yesterday. Let me get my lighter, honey. Um, and it was a shocker. But you know what's crazy? Let me tell you what's crazy. Go while I'm pulling up the stuff. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. What's crazy is, did you like the video? Because we jumping right into it. Because this is not gonna be a long video. But did you like it? Okay, so this came yesterday. It was yesterday afternoon, and everybody was like, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. And me, I'm thinking about Charlie Rose. Ain't that the man, the old man? Let me go look him up. I was thinking it was Charlie Rose. Now, I have seen um, Charlie Clerk. Char, that's who I thought. When people kept saying, literally, American journalist and talk show host Charlie Rose, when people kept saying Charlie Rose got shot, I was like, yeah. I mean, no, they were like, Charlie Rose might be dead. Charlie Rose might be dead. So Charlie Kirk. That's what they kept saying was Charlie Kirk. Girl, I don't fucking know his name. The crazy part is I literally did not know that guy's name. I see him online. I see his clips. I literally never knew his name. I just remember his pale, ashy, dry face and seeing his clips and his opinions and his politics are literally in direct opposition of my existence. So he was at a rally at debating at Utah, in Utah of all places, girl. You know, they so righteous and holy in Utah, girl. And at a rally, and he was being asked a question about mass shootings, and the person asked him, "Do you know how many mass shootings there were this year?" And he said, including gang violence or not including gang violence. And bah, that nigga got shot in the neck. Whoever, let me tell you something, the politicians who are in direct opposition with human rights of people that are not white, male, heterosexual, and Christian, y'all are y'all better be careful. Y'all need the bulletproof glass around you when you go out in public. Because the bulletproof vest is not going to work because there ain't no bulletproof vest that covers the neck. So in case he had a vest on, and I don't understand how you can run around the country with these type of politics and not expect to die by the gun, live by the gun, die by the gun. He was very much in favor of the Second Amendment, and saying he recently said that there's just going to have to be some casualties for liberty. So there you go. Not a martyr, but girl, you lived by the gun and you will die by the gun. And he has asked, while he was in the middle of a sentence about to blame gang violence, which translation reads black people, right? But are we just going to ignore the gang of the white male heterosexual Christian that has been running amok for the past few centuries? Okay, or we just going to ignore that gang because they're the biggest gang. They're so much of a gang that they are literally they put a pedophile felon in office as the president of the United States, and he supported him. So if you are in direct opposition to my existence, I don't shed a tear for you. I don't even have empathy for you. I don't. I hope his wife had a good life insurance policy. I mean, you should, because your husband is a politician that is a racist, sexist, misogynistic, homophobe, xenophobe, transphobe girl. Literally told a girl the other week, because I've been watching clips of him, because like I said, I've seen him all over the place, right? But I never knew his name. I didn't tap in like that. I just didn't know his name. So when everybody was like, Charlie Kirk, bitch, I thought they was talking about Charlie motherfucking Rose. That's what I thought they was talking about. I was like, oh no, Charlie Rose died. Oh, I said, what was Charlie Rose doing at a debate? Like, what the hell? And then when I looked it up, I was like, oh, it's that guy. And I just recently saw like a clip, not a clip, a thumbnail of him at Jubilee. Like he was going back and forth with someone or with a group of, I can't remember, but he was just on Jubilee. I don't know. I just saw it. I don't know if he was just on there, but I just saw it. And I really didn't know his name. I didn't know his name. Um, It says Matthew Dowd fired from MSNBC for Charlie Kirk's comments. To me, I would probably liken him to a KKK member, a grand wizard, a grand dragon. There was this man hollering and screaming online talking about who shot him and he was going to be the next president, and why are you guys so violent? What? Are you talking to the group of people that have killed more humans per capita than any other group of people in human history? The only ones that can come close are the Mongols that killed a lot of people. But you more, and no pun intended, but you running neck and neck, okay, with the Mongols, who killed a lot of people. But white people have killed the most people per capita than any other group of people in human history. And the fact that they scapegoat everything else, everybody else, like he was literally about to blame it on gang violence. And we know gang violence means black people, right? So and more than likely, because according to the mass shootings, I looked it up. Let me tell you. The fact is, exact counts aren't available because they don't categorize when it's a mass shooting. A mass shooting is classified as four or more people at one time. That is what is considered a mass shooting. But they're not broken down into the intention, right? They don't know why. So they don't know if it's gang violence. They don't know if it's a kid at school shooting a bunch of people. They don't know if it's some white man in a mall killing a bunch of people. But the fact and the truth remains that the majority of mass shootings are done by a white, male, heterosexual Christian. So I can imagine that he would be walking around with his violent politics, right? His politics literally, your human rights, he doesn't want you to have human rights, especially women. I saw a clip of him telling the girl was telling him she wanted to go to college to pursue a career in political journalism. And he told her to go to school to get her MRS degree, to go find a man in college. Don't worry about getting your degree in political journalism. Go find a man and marry. That's what he told her. That man is literally in direct opposition to a woman's existence, white women too. And what bothers me most is that the white male heterosexual Christian, the Christians are virtue signaling. Black Christians. Van Jones, you slobbering coon, you down there talking about, oh, uh, you know how the niggas do. Oh, this is so violence in this country, and oh my God, and my prayers. You're literally praying for somebody who is in direct opposition to your existence. You get no prayers. You don't even get it, girl, you get no prayers. So the definition of a mass shooting is 4+ people shot, injured, killed in any context. And there's actually data to support what that motherfucker was about to say until he got choked up. I honestly do not care. And I don't do the virtue signaling. I don't do the, oh my God, his family. Like my kid, he actually came home and walked in the door and was like, do you know who Charlie Kirk is? And I was like, I had already heard about it. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, he said during sixth period, everybody was like, of course, no, they're in their phones and stuff like that. And he said right before sixth period, that, and then he saw it on TikTok, and I was like, don't keep watching that, like him getting shot, because of course there's so many cameras that are, taping or recording the event. And so I mean, in all angles, baby, when I tell you in all angles, I watched it like in two or three angles because I literally wanted to see, because we don't know, like it could be a deep fake. We don't know if it's real or stuff like that. But then your pedophile in chief, he tweeted and said that he had died. And I hope maggots eat his eyes out. I don't care. That motherfucker didn't have any plans for me. I'm a black woman who literally is queer adjacent. Okay, he didn't have any plans for me. So I don't give a fuck. I don't. I really don't. I really don't. And I'm pretty sure that a white man probably killed him. Let's look. Let's go into the computer and see Charlie Rose. He opposes affirmative action and suggests Black people are responsible for their own problems. Kirk has said that affirmative action is evil, immoral, and premised on incorrect assumptions. He argues it treats people as a part of a group rather than individuals. He attributes racial disparities to Black fathers abandoning children, inner city crime, failing public schools rather than systematic racism. He criticized Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson by calling her an affirmative action hire, like the president literally is an affirmative action hire. Donald Trump is literally a DEI, affirmative action hire. You are a mediocre white man with no qualifications to be the president of the United States, and there you sit. And claimed she was chosen because she was Black and female rather than her other qualifications. He also criticized and rejected the civil rights legislation and Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy. Kirk has argued that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 has become an anti-white weapon and said that it led to bureaucracy, DEI, etc., that he views as harmful. He also called Martin Luther King Jr. awful after previously praising him, and questioned whether MLK Day should even be a holiday. Comments suggesting women's values and is linked to age, attractiveness, and biological prime. Kirk criticized women in their early 30s as being past their primes. You know, they're pedophiles, right? And I'd get his. Does he have a daughter? Does he have children? Because that's what my kid said. He said, I feel sorry for his children. That's the only people I feel sorry for. That's what my kid, a 16-year-old, said. He's like, the only people I feel sorry for is the kids who lost their father. But high key, they're probably better off, because all he was going to do was inject him with the poisonous politics that he possesses. Okay. Kirk criticized women in their early 30s as being past their prime in attractiveness, dating value, etc. He blamed birth control culture, media, and corporate and professional demands for making young ladies angry and bitter. He expressed views that feminism is tearing down men, literally, when the patriarchy literally is designed to tear down. A woman sending thoughts and prayers to that motherfucker, you're a treasonous bitch, and turn your pussy in at the end of the day by the close of business. Okay. He said modern feminism has negative consequences for the family structure because they want you in the explosive isolating nuclear isolating family dynamics. That's what they want. That's what they want. Kirk has said there are only two genders, and gender fluidity and transgenderism are lies and hurt people and abuse children. He pushed back strongly against trans people being allowed to access women's bathrooms, no mention of men's bathrooms, participate in women's sports, no mention of men's sports, and preferred pronouns. So that's like the trans women are the target. Again, women are the target, right? Whether they trans or cis, women are the target. You don't hear no conversations about trans men in sports. You don't hear conversations about trans men in bathrooms. You don't hear anything about it. Nothing about it. Because how dare you transition to a woman and live as a woman? So we're going to target you and we are going to attack you every single chance we get. Women too, cis women, biological women, natural women, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, he don't fucking like you. He should get a shoes thrown at his motherfucking headstone. They honestly better, it better be a secret location because I'm sure it will be vandalized. I'm positive it would be vandalized. Kirk compared the rise of transgender identity to believing in a subjective reality in a way that undermines objective reality. They believe that white male heterosexual Christian ideologies are objective. They believe that. That's why I'm saying those people are sick. It's literally like a member of the KKK being shot. Like literally the same fucking politics. He said things like, if I see a pilot, I'm going to say, I hope he's qualified, implying by default due to race. That was in Newsweek. That was in January 2024. Hold on, let me share this. Hold on. Yeah, he said, what did he say? Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. You didn't ask that. Did you ask that of the current president? Boy, I hope he's qualified because he damn sure isn't qualified, and yet and still you support him. And black pilots are usually male, typically male. I've seen a few female black pilots, but his ideas are in direct opposition to your existence. He gets no nothing. He don't get a thought he don't get none of that. Somebody said thoughts and pew pews, right? He made disparaging comments about Claudine Gay, president of Harvard, and suggested she is she is a part of the anti-white black race pandering industry in higher education, criticizing her qualifications in a way many see as dismissive or demeaning towards black individuals. This is the legacy that he left. You live by the gun, you die by the gun, and your legacy is full of every single thing that is against uh, women, black people, trans people, LGBTQ people, people who are not Christian, I'm sure. Charlie Kirk, Claudine Gay's entire academic career could be summarized as white man bad, give black people stuff. I'm posting these stories. I'm posting them to my Twitter page. If you want to go, I have a source of everything that I'm reading. I have a source here. Okay. So I am posting them to my Twitter. If you want them, to go to my Twitter, Sweet Face Dinero. They're not going to be on Erica Dinero TV. They should be over there, but they're on Sweet Face Dinero. That's my personal page. I don't follow everybody back on my personal page. Period. Okay. He called the nomination of Byron Donald for Speaker, a black Republican, an example of affirmative action, saying his skin color means nothing. Hold on. Let me see what he said. Byron Donalds was not who has not self-selected a run for the speaker has been nominated by one of his colleagues. I find the whole thing to be rather ingenuous by the House Freedom Caucus. Now, I don't like this affirmative action stuff. I find it nauseating. We have two black people running. Skin color means nothing. Criticized women. Oh, yeah, let me let you hear that clip of him telling that girl to get her MRS degree. Hold on. I'm going to find it. No woman, no woman, no woman, no woman, no woman should be virtue signaling for him. I don't give a fuck what your Christianity says. Oh, we're not supposed to talk about the dead girl. You know what he would say if you died? Ain't no telling. Girl, hold on. He told that girl to get her MRS degree. Hold on. Here it goes.
In high school, and I was wondering, as someone who has like a different opinion on college, what would you say the pros and cons are? Because I'm interested in political journalism, and what would your advice be?
Yes, so let me also speak to some of the young ladies here in high school where your top, if you're, who's here where your top priority is get married and have kids? Raise your hand. Okay.
Your top priority is to get married and have kids. That's what he's asking a girl in high school. And there are some girls who raise their hands. I need for y'all to get your daughters together. Y'all see the NBC report, MSNBC report. They interviewed Gen Z girls who voted for Harris. Getting married and having kids is the last thing on the list. Out of 12 things that they cared about, 11 was getting married and 12 was having kids. Gen Z boys who voted for Trump, their first thing is to have children, to make you a goddamn maid, a mule, and a motherfucking mattress. That's their first thing on the list. Boys in Gen Z who voted for Donald Trump, the first thing on their list is having kids.
All right, Gen Z, these are adults under 30 years old. We thought we would ask a big picture question, what they think is most important to their personal definition of success. So we gave a whole bunch of different options here, and we asked folks in this poll, pick the three that you think are most important. The most commonly cited for Gen Z for success in life: to have a fulfilling job or career, to have the money to do the things you want to do. What was most surprising about this poll, though, was there were massive differences between how men and women in Gen Z answered, and there were huge differences politically. When you combine those two things, gender and politics in Gen Z, and you ask about what's important to success, they are worlds apart. Look at this. Men, Gen Z, men under 30 who voted for Donald Trump, what were they most likely to say makes for a successful life? Having children. Number one. Women, Gen Z, voted for Kamala Harris. Where's have it? Wow. All the way down here at the bottom. Couldn't be more opposite. Second to last for women who voted for Harris was being married. Being married, look at this, near the top of the list for men who voted for Donald Trump. Another huge difference, a very common answer for Gen Z women who voted for Harris was having emotional stability. For Gen Z men who voted for Donald Trump, you got to go all the way to the bottom to find that one. These are some core basic questions about how people think about life. And you can see here, this rising generation in this country, very far apart.
But let me tell you something. If they knew that women were giving their fathers' last names to their children, these men would stop saying that kids are their number one priority. They're only doing that because they know that you will put their last name on the child and they could live on another generation.
Interestingly, I think there is an argument to bring back the MRS degree. And no, seriously. And just be clear, that's why you're going to college, right? Don't lie to yourself. I'm studying sociology. No, you're not. We know why you're here. And that's okay, actually. And that's a really good reason to go to college, actually, especially an SEC school. Like, you will find a husband if you have the intent to find a husband at Ole Miss. Like, it's just going to happen, okay? Or wherever. Yeah, there you go, see? Or at University of Alabama. But there you go. But I always laugh because, and by the way, we should bring back the celebration of the MRS degree, which is, no, serious. I mean, if you think about it, like I say college is a scam, but if you're going to find your life partner, like that's actually a really good reason to go to college. You have a bunch of people that are single, they're at the prime of their, let's just say attractiveness. The dating pool is as robust as you ever find, and they all live together over a 4-year period. Like you don't get much better than that. Okay, it doesn't get better after college there. And so yeah, you could go learn some stuff. That's fine, I guess, or whatever. Just don't listen to your professors. But
Can
that
you
actually
believe that?
was the reason why a lot of women went to college in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and it worked for a lot. Marriage rates have plummeted since that. So
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God.
Marriage rates have plummeted. She's 14 years old. Although she looks like she's 25, she's 14 years old asking, should I go to college? And he tells her, go to college to find a husband. And I remember there were groups of black women saying the same thing, go to college to find a husband. Unfortunately, the race loyal baddies couldn't find a black man in college suitable to get an MRS degree. Girl, how dare you give that advice to a little girl, a 14-year-old, and then tell them that's when you're at the prime of your attractiveness. Girl, that's what he told the girl. So I don't have any thoughts. I don't have any prayer. I have thoughts, but the thoughts that I have are good shot. Hit me with your best shot. Now won't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. You live by the gun, you die by the gun, nigga.
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course, that's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course. Oh no, imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson. They think this is persuasive. They think as they kind of now reveal that I'm only here because of anti-white, anti-Asian forced discrimination policies that turned me into a bitter, resentful activist that hates white people.
Niggas die every day, B. Niggas get shot every day, B. You tough, right? You tough, right? You tough. You a white man in America. You tough. Didn't have on a bulletproof vest, but even if he did have on a bulletproof vest, he got shot in the neck. So whoever did that knew exactly what the fuck they was doing. They had their fucking, what do you call it? Their target on their little screen. Right when he was about to blame black people for mass shootings, a white man shot him in his motherfucking neck, girl. Ain't that some crazy shit? It's poetry, if you ask me. I want to go to the blogs and see. Let's go to the blogs. We're going to a few more minutes. Let's go to the blogs and see what they're saying. Where's Instagram? Oh, here it is.
Empathy is a made-up New Age term that it does a lot of damage, but I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think
This is Charlie Kirk.
empathy is a made-up New Age term that it does a lot of damage, but I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a
Well, that's
made-up
perfect.
New Age term.
That's perfect because I have none for him. I don't extend empathy to those that would never extend it to me, period. Honoring his memory by having no empathy. There was a school shooting in Colorado today. I have empathy for those high schoolers. At the same time that that man was being shot in the neck, there was another school shooting. Hey Siri, how many school shootings? How many school shootings have there been in the United States in 2025?
Here's what I found.
Okay, this is from CNN. Hold on, let's pull it up. I really like these nails, but I want them to be just a tad bit longer. But these are cool. There have been, this is as of school shootings in the United States, fast facts. This was published on Wednesday, right? Because there was one yesterday. Wednesday, September 10th. That was yesterday because there was one yesterday. There have been 47 school shootings in the United States so far as of September 10th. 24 were on college campuses, 23 were in K through 12 schools, and the incidents left 19 people dead and at least 77 other victims injured, according to CNN's analysis of events reported by Gun Violence Archive, Education Week, and Everytown for Gun Safety. People don't have these problems. Last year was 83. 83. Other countries don't have this problem. I think it's like other countries have like there have been other countries where there have been like school shootings and it's like one or two. It's like not 47. Not 47. Terrible. Okay, let's go back to the blogs. Yeah, I don't have. Shout out to the Conscious Lee. He posted that. That's where I am with it. Put his ass on a motherfucking shirt. Give him a pair of wings and some clouds. Period. Put him on a shirt, right? Let me turn it up. Oh, hold on a second. There we go.
Yo, hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be alright, nigga.
You tough, right?
Yo, hey, niggas get shot.
You tough, right? I'm not mourning my oppressor, period. Never, ever. Never. He is like, I'm a woman, a black woman, queer adjacent, okay? I am not, I don't give a fuck. What did Pac say? You know what? You're right. I don't give a fuck. Period. Shout out to Bishop. But that's where I am with it. Let me go to, let's go to Hollywood Unlocked and see what Hollywood Unlocked says. He's going to give him the Medal of Freedom. FBI updates that Charlie Kirk, that Charlie Kirk suspect in custody has been released. Let me go to the first part. Let's listen to what the pedophile in chief says.
I'm filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and
Told
freedom.
you. I knew they was
And
gonna call
there's
him a
never been
martyr.
anyone who was
You
so
know, motherfucking
respected by
martyr.
youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith. And we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief at House Majority Leader Steve Scalise's atrocity and the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this.
Girl, I don't give a fuck what he got to say. Okay, let's read the comments. Did he even talk about the Colorado high school shooting? Somebody tell bro there was another school shooting today, right? He didn't do a video for the Democratic state representative when she was unalived by one of his followers, nor did he do a video for the kids shot at the schools today or last month. Like, he keeps showing us who he is, and some of you still mess with him. They still mess with him because who he's against, they are against too. So they find, camaraderie and brotherhood in that. Like, the patriarchy is not just something we get down here and say. These niggas, you hear him call him a patriot. Patriarchy, right? You're a patriot to this cause of patriarchy. That's what you are. You're not a patriot because you love your country. You're a patriot because you are in line with the patriarchy. And that's what these men, as long as there is a gap, a opening in the door where they can find a woman who thinks like them, and therefore they can submiss and oppress her and repress her and stifle her and confine her and stuff her ass in a box, sometimes literally. If they see that there's an opening for that, to dominate and control a woman, they don't give a fuck that the patriarchy has their fucking boot on their neck too, a bullet in their neck too. They don't care. As long as they can dominate and control somebody, all you got to do is agree to this shit. All you got to do is agree that you come from his rib. All you got to do is agree with their ideologies, and they are in partnership with you, in brotherhood with you. This was a setup, because why did the radical left did it without even knowing who the shooter is? Like, you're literally saying he was shot because he doesn't agree with people. His politics are literally in direct opposition of most people's human rights. So if he was in opposition to your human rights, there's no reason why you should be sending him thoughts and prayers, because he wouldn't do it for you. And you virtue signaling like you got some moral authority and you're on the moral high ground. Fuck that man. That's like the image that I got in my head was literally in Sinners, where what's his name, Hasbro, I don't know what that man's name, but he was a grand wizard of the KKK, and he sold the smoking stack there, that slaughterhouse where they were killing black people in, and then they came back to take all their money, and he shot up everybody. And I when I'm thinking about movie making, I said, when I was in the movie theater, I said, I hope they show him wearing his ass out with that Tommy gun and them bullets, because a lot of times they don't show it because there's some type of empathy there, where they're not going to show this black man kill a KKK grand wizard. Grand Dragon, whatever the fuck they call them, conehead bitches. So you're out here sending thoughts and prayers to someone who would be part of the KKK back in the day. So it's actually sick for any man, especially black men. But you know that slobbering, stupid coon down there, Van Jones, always with some shit. Here go Van Jones. What did he say? Hold on, let me find what Van Jones said. Today's attack on Charlie Kirk is absolutely horrifying and heartbreaking. He fought with words, not weapons. The violence, this thing where you say sticks and stones and bullets may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. The violence that came out of that man's mouth. There's no place for political violence in our society, and those responsible will be swiftly brought to justice. My prayers are with Charlie's loved ones, the traumatized students at Utah Valley University, and all who have been impacted by this senseless act. And of course, he put the accounts who can reply to him, accounts that mention Van Jones can reply to this. I want to read some of the comments to this. Where is this? View post interactions. Editing your posts to remove replies and locking down replies to avoid new ones because you are rightfully called out for being human trash is a bitch ass move. Van smeared the hell out of Kirk on national TV less than 48 hours ago for simply trying to make an even-handed point about reactions to tragedies. Hey, piece of shit. Just yesterday, you called Charlie Kirk a race baiter. I hope you live with this burned into your soul, Van, because you have blood on your hands. I say this with all sincerity and from the very bottom of my here. Fuck you, Van Jones. You are a vile, wicked person. Turn your comments on, you fucking scumbag. You edited and hid replies, locked down comments after calling Charlie Kirk a racist on national television. You share responsibility for his murder. Girl, shut the fuck up. Girl, you shut the fuck up. Hold on. Let me get right to it, bitch. Hold on. I got something for this hoe. You are in direct response. I'm not defending Van Jones. Fuck him. You're a hypocrite. You instigated this attack with your words. You're a guilty coward. Girl, I'm not defending him. I'm not in the comment. I was about to go with these racists and get in the comments, but they're on Van Jones' side. It says over the last 20 months, there have been 895 mass shootings. There isn't a definitive up-to-date tally specifically isolating gang-related mass shooting incidents in the United States, largely because most large-scale mass shootings database don't break down incidents by motive in that way. I said, I don't want to see any virtue signaling from any person. That man didn't want to have rights. If he didn't want you to have your own basic human rights, you better not shed a tear for that motherfucker. That's where I am with it. Charlie Kirk was, let me see, because this needs to live. They had him deleted because yesterday it was shown that it was deleted. Hold on. It says Charlie Kirk was a genocide apologist, anti-immigrant, anti-abortion, anti-women, anti-anything human rights, very racist and Islamophobic. I'm not saying he deserved it, but he deserved it. Oh, here it is. Who are you? I'll save the tweet. I found sometimes their system glitches to where you can actually see what they've actually had him see. It says this post violated X rules, and so it disappeared. But right here, I can see it. Right, so they have a glitch, and I can still see the tweet that they said violated rules. So I took a screenshot of it so it can be posted and saved. Here's Candace Owen. Everyone, please stop what you're doing and pray for Charlie Kirk, please. I tweeted her and said, did your God answer your prayers? Did he? I know your God is a he. He, him pronouns. I know that's what he is. I actually hold no space or empathy for a misogynist, racist, homophobic, mediocre man. The poetry of being shot while you try to blame gang violence for a mass shooting in America is a chef's kiss. It literally is poetic. And that's all I got to say about it. Y'all let me know. Get down in the comments. Let me know. Let me know things you have heard him say that are in direct opposition to your existence. Let me know how you feel about the situation. Like I said, it feels like you killed the grand wizard of the KKK. I can give I don't have any fucks to give. I'm like Pac. I don't give a fuck.
But now, you're right. I am crazy. But you know what else? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about Steve.
I don't give a fuck about, he don't give a fuck about nobody. And that's where I am with it. So that's where I am with it. Y'all let me know if you give a fuck. If you don't have any, I don't have any fucks to give. I'm sorry. I ran out of fucks. 0 fucks given. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Don't keep watching that video. I watched it a couple of times because I wanted to see it from different angles. And I was like, this is crazy because I didn't think it was real at first. And I was saying, this is crazy. I do want to read some more comments. Let's read some more comments. I think we got a little while. I got a little time. Wait, what time is it? Oh no, I don't have any time. Let's go. I'll take care of each other. Oh, we're at 45 minutes, so we're good. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Coming back for another video. Peace.